To questions. Senator Sharma.
Start with Senator Patterson.
Senator Patterson.
Thank you. Minister, what is your response to the news today that the Reserve Bank of Australia is forecasting the lowest growth they ever have for the Australian economy?
What is my response to that?
Yes.
Well, you know, I leave it to the Reserve Bank to make comment on the economy when it's, you know, like, I don't know what you're after there.
Well, I mean,
we publish our growth forecasts in the budget. That's our responsibility. You know, we look after our areas of responsibility, and the bank makes its own comments in accordance with its mandate.
It's not a concern to you that the RBA is forecasting the lowest growth they ever have in the history of RBA forecasts?
Well, I have responsibilities as Minister for Finance, and that's working with the Treasurer around the budget and making decisions around the budget. You know, some of the commentary last week when the bank increased interest rates, you know, I think part of the comments of the bank then, if I recall them correctly, I don't have the statement of monetary policy in front of me, was around, you know, essentially the strength of growth across the economy. So, you know, I'm going to leave it to the bank to make their comments, and, you know, I focus on the job that I've got to do here.
So you're not concerned, the RBA is saying the economy is going to slow to its lowest rate of growth in the history of its forecasts?
Well, I'm concerned. The thing that concerns me is the decisions that I take under my responsibilities. We want a strong economy. The public sector has a role to play there, or the budget has a role to play there, and that's informed by the decisions that we take through the budget process.
Is 1.6% growth for the year to June 2028 a strong economy?
Well, we forecast our own growth forecasts, Senator Patterson, and, you know, we make decisions in the budget. This is, you know, certainly as Minister for Finance, if you've got questions about the Treasury and Treasury portfolio, of course, therefore tomorrow. But the decisions that I'm involved in the budget are making sure that we support the economy, and that our decisions that we take in the budget context are the right ones for the economic circumstances of the time.
You're a senior economic minister in the government, and the rate of growth of the economy has profound implications directly for your portfolio on the budget. What's the government's plan to turn this around?
Well, our budgets outline the government's plan. So whether it's investing in energy, whether it's the work we're doing around productivity, whether it's the data and the digital work that's underway across government and in partnership with stakeholders outside government, you know, we have a strong agenda, and you'll see more of it in the budget.
It's not exactly a vote of confidence from the RBA in that strong agenda if they're lowering growth forecasts to the lowest they have ever predicted before.
Well, that's your commentary, Senator Patterson. I don't accept it.
Do you disagree? Do you think it's a resounding endorsement?
I disagree with your commentary. I mean, you know, the position. Well, one, I think I never see anyone as happy as you as when there's forecasts that are revised down.
That's a bit unfair. No, I genuinely, that is how you present.
The government has a job to do. We outline our plans in the budget. You argue against most of that. Like if we take clean energy, obviously a big opportunity for growth in the economy. You don't agree with that. You know, so it's a contest in terms of the policy response, but we believe we get the decisions we've taken in the last few budgets and the one that we'll take in the upcoming budget are about making the best decisions and the right decisions for the economic circumstances of the time.
But we're not in government, you're in government, and your plans are the ones that actually affect the performance of the economy, and as a result of you being in government for 4 years, the RBA has slashed their growth forecast to the lowest they ever have. doesn't seem to me like you're all that concerned by that or have a plan to deal with that.
Well, what I'm outlining to you is the plans that the government has and that we've put in place in the budget and that we'll continue to make in the budget that's going to be released in May. And I would put our plan against yours any day of the week, Senator Patterson. You went to the last election with bigger deficits, higher taxes and more debt. And I argued at the time, and I maintain that argument now, that that was not the right set of decisions for the economy. We have a different approach about what we want to see happen, including the tax cuts that will come in July this year and the year after, and the substantial, support and assistance we're providing in the economic transition that our economy is going through, much of which you contest as well with your head in the sand on things like energy policy.
We lost the last election, Minister. You won it. We are not governing the country. You are governing it, and it is your policies.
Well, I'm merely drawing a comparison between what you were offering and what we are delivering, and that is a difference.
And how's that working out?
I stand by the decisions that we took to the election platform we took to the last campaign, through the last campaign, and the decisions we've taken in my EFO and the ones we'll take in the budget.
So will there be policies in the budget to turn around these anaemic growth figures?
Well, the Treasurer has already been clear about what the budget would look like, or the general kind of elements that you would expect to see. You would expect to see continued effort on the savings front. You would see focus on productivity and on tax reform.